sidlala ke manje kodwa khona lokho esihlanganisile lapha phakathi sibona ke manje uzama ukuyishaya sibona Sadat Sefo wala kahla
ba o khukunela ntse la ke SuperSport United ka jalo tshwantse ba itlhaganele ba no se
Welcome back to it. It's football on 216, the favorite place to be on a Monday at 6 o'clock. The first episode was so nice that we had to do it twice. But into my mnandi siyayiphinda siyenza kayi-2, and well, this is the second show where we sit down and really give you all there is to know about youth development football in South Africa. I'm Tandom Chiako, your host and your jersey number 10, and I've gone for the same starting 11 as last week round. Ngihamba nge-4-3-3 up front. Siswini Peteus Fisogutle Msimango, he's controlling the play, and then striker Ngolebza as well as Orapeleng Mohaki banging in the goals for me in the 9 and 11 jerseys. Machita, good morning. How are you, gents?
Why umbeka kupili?
Anekutala ngisho ukuthi awukomnandi wena lebu. Awukomnandi le phambili.
Mbeko mrago defended akunomthotho.
Oh, kapa.
Nabambitsa makhurumeja anything that comes wapusha.
Gents, so happy to have you guys here once again to sit down and do this and speak youth football. But I want to start with a bit of a different element this morning, right? We know that the commentators on 216 love their commentary introductions so much. If you watch the games, you'll know that it's one of the things that they really hamper hard on. But what's the point of having Lebu say his introduction? I'm going to switch it out and have the other gents say your introduction. So we're going to switch it up. You're going to say Fiso's introduction. He's going to go your introduction. And then Ora's going to go how I introduce games. Right? So just to switch it up and see if the fans and the viewers at home know. So let's go, Lebza. You ask Fiso Guhle. Simango.
Monday so Tando.
Mina nyukusifisa kuhle okamsimango isibongo umhlokolozi ongahlokoloza hlokoloza wena mhlokolozi.
Short ne. Ngoba ithi hlokoloza abangahlokolozi hlokolozi. Too much hlokolozi.
uyahlokolozi ngicilini uyahlokolozi
Hlokoloza leka lepsikheni wena ke.
sharp ngibuka le camera sharp madumekia ubona utsene gape mshimane ba re kena Lebs Kenwave all the way from Clearstop ngwana wa Abraham Mahuma Mathupa Moaling Teng o di betas huba kana
Ka kawana la ela golela mo Jobetina. Okni, there's something about Okni.
la belegetse go Jobetina mila golela
mo Okni. Nandi, let's wrap up with you, alright?
Barwa on the spot. Orbe on the spot. Good day, I'm promising you the humdinger of the day. We're coming with a different narrative today. My name is Tandom Chiago.
It's always about the narrative. It's always about the narrative. But gents, the narrative for the show and for the day is youth football. And here's what you can expect then from football on 216 today. We have 2 guest interviews. You know Coach Costarino, all the way from Brazil. And remember, Elite Sports Academy. He joins us once again. But most importantly, we have a man that hasn't lost a game in over 2 years. They say with Xabi Alonso in Europe. I say we have Mohamed Pamji on the show later in the segment. So stay tuned as we'll get into that. But gents, of course, we had fixtures then during the week. Started on Saturday with round 12 of the Gauteng Development League, moved over to Sundays. Fiso, you were at Huntersfield Stadium for Northwest University, Val and Katoras.
bengilapha wena Thando ekasi mangikutshela nje ukuthi kwenzakaleni so sibonile iground oqala alidlale grand but then amanda 13 Katoras Upper Academy awine 4-0 phela sekhaya home ground amanda 15 Katoras Upper Academy awina 2-0 and then wayakula abadala zaqala zabhet izinto under 17 badliwe 1-0 beshawa yona ke lapha na NW Valley yabuya futhi yawina kuma under 19 bawina ke 1-0 okusho ukuthi ba collect ama points acisha lenganayo half 6 ngapha 6 ngale.
And then, of course, we speak about Mohamed Bamji and his greatness, but he still hasn't lost yet. Orapeleng, he did though drop points for the first time this season.
Yeah, ke tse bona le go drop a point or ba thoma go monela ditlhopha tse go nna yana ga ba go simolla ba draw le gore maybe motshameko o latela
Maybe something's coming.
Maybe something is
Lunga
coming.
novelas coming.
So when Thando ka Saturday Kaizer Chiefs under 13 they played 1-1 draw le Panorama. The under 15 they played 0-0 goalless draw there, and then under 17 le bona ba tshameka maleka a ngwe go setlhopha se ke itumelela Tashil Rambunanan o khonne go nosa from a free kick for under 17 under 19 ba tshamekile jalo 3-1 ba khona go fenya setlhopha sa Kaizer Chiefs so re bone di draw di ka nna tharo mo letsatsi leo Panorama ba tshameka low block ke ka mo bona ile gore setlhopha sa Kaizer Chiefs ga ba khona go tshameka motshameko o ba e tlwaetseng le stage of buile gore no ai Panorama ba phaka bus man ba dula go morago too much
Ba yenze Richards Bay. Richards Bay.
Richard Bay phaka trainer ga e phake bus
Okay, Lebu. So we were yesterday then at Hellman Melman, the Germiston Stadium, where we brought round 12 of the broadcast fixture with Galaxy taking on Supersport United.
Ku Germiston Stadium mo wana thando re bone yalo TS Galaxy ne tshameka le Supersport United re bone yalo wana ntse like o buile ka low block a ke rate low block a ke rate go tlhele low block because ha o
Well, we know what team you support then.
I'm a big fan of goals. Ka jalo ha le pakile ba go gopola Panorama ne pakile ba against Sundowns e dirile ka Chiefs fela rona re bone no tse tharo a wina matsatsantsa ka nno tse pedi go lefela ra bona gape tswela pele go gapa matsatsantsa 4-1 me ra bona TS Galaxy e bowa ka under 17 go na le motshameki mo Lethando Anthony Bomba mo gare ga mpale ba le kutlwe sfiswalla kutlwe fa so ka ene ntwa
Wenzano Pumba boy.
yazi ngoma ethi bumba no lalela mfethu so iTS Galaxy yabona la percent uthi nja yami khohle
Bamnandi ne?
khohle relax la percent khona uLiam jersey number 17 sithema sikhuluma nawe uthi ubuya Black Leopards I think
Yes.
and then khona ubhumba kube khona abadlala abaningi la percent so iTS Galaxy inswempu la percent.
Hey,
Let's go to Ora.
Yeah,
Because you were watching the games from home then, right? And you had some good talking points via the TS Galaxy defensive organization.
Yeah, I think wa bona ntho gape ke nagana gore nka se itse gore ke re Lotto was let down by the defense ya gagwe gonne gona le diphosonyana tse e leng gore ga nne ke lebeletse ne di diragala kgotsa ke lebala ne le sa tshamekege lebala le ne le se le ntle thata ga ka itumelela ka bokgone lebala le lebega ka teng re bone jalo a Zola Lotto a dira schoolboy mistakes nga di ba fela jalo gone dino tsa ntlha tse tharo mo karolong ile ya ntlha ya motshameko ke dino tse e leng gore o ka nagana gore di tsene o ka re ke di soft goals tse e leng gore nka ba kgonne go di sireletsa le ga o ka bona no e leng gore nisto jalo ke ene le ka bona le ne la ga Stuba if o ka bona bolo e Stuba a inisitse the pitch was very very much bumpy so ga ka itumella pitch the way leng ka teng no bua ka Huntersfield I've been go Huntersfield
I also think Lotto recovered very well because no but he recovered very well because remember as a goalkeeper I don't think he was organizing the wall very well. Yes, he made mistakes, but I think he recovered very well. Like some beautiful saves.
But Sfiso, then you always chat to me about the fact that goalkeepers, especially players in development football, are bound to make mistakes, and so we need to help them recover.
So into kanjalo wena Thando kodwa khona into istatement osishila izolo mangibuza uyakhumbula bezama ukwenza isap ngo goalkeeper ngibuza ukuthi izothini confidence entwana wangitshela wathi as much as confidence entwana but now confidence yeclub intwana uzoyithatha uyibeke phansi uyitshela intwana wenza mistake bengasi game yakho but then azizame confidence yeclub uthi uba phezulu enye into Thando leya field leyana bengilokho ngitshela ngayo izolo inswempu leya field ngize ngabuza ukuthi why did he see
or does not agree or does not pleased
Ntswempu ya field I was watching the game untsuri Ntswempu ya field how sheba a patch there's lots of patches that you identify in Germiston Stadium yesterday the pitch was so bumpy both teams couldn't play their natural play TS Galaxy ra itse gore ba tshameka tapedi Supersport United ba neletsa but if you can look most of the game the ball was bumping a gona mo eleng gore ne tsamaya mo captain mo
but then ushela ukuthi kuma games awu 4 only cost ama goals awu 2
No,
pitch and why ama goals engena against TS Galaxy abo goalkeeper TS Galaxy at bonke almost lonke ama games baqale like ngisho namanda 13 ubonile ati beqala like bad.
It is not the goals kits on it and the pitch bad. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying the pitch was bad. Yeah. All in all for the game of fail.
Let's hear what our final expert has to say before we go to the break. What are you saying, Mr. Expert?
How le motshameki tshwantse lebelele ma mantsengana o ka se lebelele tapete all the time
All the time.
go tlo go nna le molora go tshamekege sentle go la molora go tshamekega sentle ka jalo whether the pitch was okay or not okay, tshwanetse o tswele pele ka motshameko.
Marjans, we know how many interviews have you seen that the coach but complain about pitch? Do you know Wakadugu hore there's some point where Wakadugu the pitch wasn't playable?
Sure. So that's what we love, though. That's why we're here on the show, to hear our experts debate and talk about the pitch. Maybe you can tell us at home what you thought the pitch was like. But exciting stuff on Super Sports Schools. 3 shows now on your home of school sport. You have the Super Sports Schools podcast every Sunday at 6 p.m. We have our football on 216 every Monday at 6 p.m. And the Game E-Play Sports Show every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So watch out for those on your home of school sports. For now, Sitata Ikefu Elingane, and we'll be right back after a short break. My particular favorite segment on football on 216. It's Coach's Corner, the chance where we really get into the heads of the minds of development football. I like it because it means that we can start the coaches on the bench and then bring them on in the second half, just like they usually do to the youngsters. But the man that we have today is one that understands and knows youth football so well. His resume spans 11 pages, to be precise. Coach Mohamed Pamji, involved at the under-13s of Kaizer Chiefs, won the treble last year, went 2 years undefeated. He's a holder of both a CAF B and a CAF A license, and he's also the head of sports at Greenside Primary School. Coach Pamji, you are joined by Coach Cosarino of Remember Elite Sports Academy. I wonder, maybe we'll see one day you guys go head-to-head on the other side of the coin. Coach Cosarino, you're involved at RISA, of course, also a CAF A holder. But we'll have your segments after this. We know your particular role with the performance matrix analysis. For now, we're tag teaming and we're finding out what's up at Kaizer Chiefs. Coach, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
I think firstly, Coach Pamji, I just would like to ask you how you find these kids, because I think that's something that often we ask so many times of development football, and many of the youngsters watching the show want to find out how can we get into Kaizer Chiefs and the best development in the country.
Look, it's not easy to get in there. You have to have a certain quality to come in there. And we're looking for that quality from under 13 level. So you're looking at your 11, 12-year-old boys. And I always feel that's the base. If we get them in right at that age and to the first door, it stands for us to from into under 15, under 17, under 19 DDC. So because we do not have an under 10 and under 11, under 12, so that we have assessments throughout the year, and now we're doing it during the school holidays. So yeah, if you have talented boys that are, aged 11 and 12, get in touch with our scouting team and let them come have a look at you.
Well, in Europe, the big emphasis at the moment has been on Bayer Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso and what they've been able to do, 49 games unbeaten. I think they have one of the longest winning runs in European club history, right? But you make that sound so easy, right? Because you haven't lost a game since 2022 almost. We have a 38 match season plus 17. I mean, you've cracked that Xabi Alonso numbers, right? How, Coach, you been able to get consistency from 11, 12 and 13-year-olds?
Look, I remind them every single day, and I know people might think it's a lie, but we don't put win first. We remind them every day how honored and privileged they are to play for a club like Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, there's millions and thousands and millions of kids would like to be in their shoes. So when they walk through the gates of the village, they should know how privileged and honored they are to be here and to keep that jersey. So I remind them in the change room when we go, I said, firstly, remember how privileged you are. Secondly, go and give. When you play for Kaizer Chiefs, you cannot give 100%, you cannot give 200%, you have to give 500% commitment. And the reason I say that, because the teams coming to play against you are doubling and they're tripling their efforts. So sometimes that 100 and 200% is not enough. We go for 500% plus. And once we do that and the attitude is right and we realize how privileged and honored we are and we play good football, naturally the result will come. We don't put the result first. Let's cover all the other elements first, and naturally the result will take its place.
Sure. Yeah, that's fascinating, Coach. And you've touched on a bit whereby you're speaking about 11-year-olds. Coach, I'm curious because now on your 11-page resume, hey, that's long, eh? That's a long job. But Coach, what's fascinating about it is that you've done international courses like your KNVB introductory course in 2014 and then your Kueva coaching level 1 course. Maybe you can touch base on that as to what was the decision behind doing these courses?
Look, when I started coaching, I said to myself that, everyone that gets into coaching wants the limelight of senior football. And yes, fair enough, they want the limelight of senior football. But when I got into coaching, I said, it's like school. You start at grade R and you work yourself up to matric and university and so forth. So when I started coaching in Mayfair, we had a senior team that played SAB. And then I said, I'll coach the senior team, but I would like to coach the under-6s also. Nice. And over the years of coaching, I managed to close the gaps. I managed to go 6, 8, so forth. So I have, and that's what was reasons of doing these courses. So you have an understanding of a child's development from 6 years old to 8 to 10 to 12 to 15 to 17. So tomorrow, you called upon to coach the under-17s or under-19s, you have an understanding. If they ask you go and look at 8-year-old boys or 10-year-old boys, you have an understanding. And I want you to cover all those aspects, so because you never know where this journey of football might take you. And that's why coming into Chiefs to take the under-13, I didn't feel overwhelmed because I knew I've done that age before. I know what's required. And working at the primary school and working with kids from 4 years old up to 13, every single day of my life, you understand the different phases of development a child goes through. And as a coach, that's very important because the way you coach a 10-year-old is very different from coaching a 15-year-old or 12-year-old. Everything differs. So you have to have that understanding of the age of a child and how they are.
Sure. Yeah, no, Coach. You're definitely feeding us here. I want senior football, Baba. I immediately want to start coaching. I want senior football. Most people will say that. Yeah. Not me, but most people will say that. And Coach, having a background of working with 6-year-olds, is it easy, or do people just look at the limelight and say, no, man, these boys are performing, it's very nice? And touching on their growth spurt, what can you maybe tell aspiring coaches out there to look out for?
Look, I think every child grows at a different rate. Nutrition takes a big aspect in it. Not everyone comes from privileged backgrounds to have proper nutrition, proper gym. Some kids, you don't even know if they had one meal or if they had 3 meals, So I think we also, as coaches, need to be also patient. We might see a talented boy at 11, 12 years old, but he's not as physically strong as someone else. And because we judge him at that size and that age, and we say, no, he's not good enough. And when we look at that boy again at 16, 17, and he's had his growth spurts and he's had the proper nutrition, and we look back and say, oh, we lost the gem. Yeah. So I think when we're making decisions on young players, I think the physical aspect should be the last aspect. I think we should look at the technical aspect first. And one of the biggest aspects we should look at if the child is coachable. I think when a child is coachable, it's fair. Any person who's coachable and easy to teach, you got most likely a chance of improving them. So I think that's something we've got to look at also when we're looking at kids and developing young players.
Coach, we have time for one more question. You speak about the youngsters being coachable, right? How? I'm losing my train of thought here, Coach. Give me 2 seconds. What advice, rather, would you give to a young 13, 15-year-old watching this show about how to be coachable and how to maximize their potential in that regard?
I think a lot of kids that come in, I think you need to first, when I talk about coachable, you need to listen to your coaches. You need to, if your coaches tell you, do A, B, and C, you need to do it. You need to embrace it, and you need to realize when you come in there, your coach is your mother, is your father, is your uncle. You need to listen to him, and whatever the advice they're giving you, go out and try and do it. And be open-minded. You get some kids that the coach will tell them what to do when they go home, or the parent tells them something different, and you have that problem because the coach is saying maybe go to the right, and the parent will say, no, you're not a right back, you're a better striker, and things like that. So I think when we talk about coachable, just a child that's willing to learn every day and willing to come there with the right attitude, and whatever instructions you give him, he's trying his best to lay those to do those to do what he needs to do.
I'm going to pose this question now to both of you, right? Because both of you gentlemen are coaches and develop football, right? Let's speak about diets for the youngsters, right? Because in zasekasi ufuna ukudla ikota, yabo ngifuna ukushaya amagwinya ekseni. How important does that eating aspect become? I mean, the kids want to eat cheeseburgers, right? So how do you regulate that diet aspect?
I think it also depends on the background and what the kids have to eat. But nutrition, it plays a massive part in a child's development. If we compare ourselves to Europe, and if you take a 14 or 15-year-old European boy now, and we meet again when we're 18 or 19, you'll see a massive difference in the European child's physical. Well, that's why at 18 they can throw themselves in the Premier League and they can compete in Bundesliga, because physically they're up for it, and they're getting their 3 meals a day, and they're getting the proteins, and and it's just, I think because of the background we come from, not every team has the privileges of feeding these kids these 3 meals. So it's something as an association, as staff, as people, we need to look at it. How do we develop our kids, not only on the footballing side, but physically with the nutrition, with the proper gym work and those stuff, and to make a better footballer.
And also to add on that, Coach, yeah, you are definitely right, because in most cases you'll find that a lot of kids that we are exposing to our football, they come from not different backgrounds, and you get a club that does not have resources to actually resource them and give them a very proper and managed managed diet. So it plays a big role. And like, for instance, a good example would be Siabonga Nomvete. He went to Italy and then he craved pap every single day.
Because where do you find this meal?
Exactly, where do you find this? You understand? So it really touches a lot of people when you speak about diet, and I'd like to definitely give props to those teams who are going out of their way to actually give those players what they need in terms of dietary requirements.
And then, Coach, let's throw it forward to this weekend then. Big game. Like, I don't know, I enjoy watching you go up against Sundowns every single time, right? What are you planning? What are your thoughts ahead of this coming game against Lunga Nobela?
I think football is nowadays it's an open book. With the super sports schools, I think they know how we play. We know how they play. You just go on the app and you can see our last 4 or 5 games. We can see Sundowns' last 4 or 5 games, and they know our key players. We know our key. So it's just on the day, who turns it on and who does their best. But we know when we're playing a team like Sundowns, we're going to get a good quality football match. And you're going to have two teams out there that are going at each other like a boxing match, And at the end of the day, there has to be a winner, there has to be a loser. But I think I think the public are going to be in for an entertaining football match. Yeah. We at Kaizer Chiefs are going to Clapham, not just there to add numbers. We're going to compete, and we're going to try our best to come back with 12 points.
I'm going to go with the Brazilian and go with his prediction for the week. I mean, you're not involved, right? So you can predict.
No. Super Sports School team, so they watched each other. No. But I think it's going to be a tight affair. With Coach Bamji's team, I think he can come out tops on this one. Yeah.
Okay, Coach. Thank you so much, man, guys. But like you said, Mam Nandum Nandi, and we'll see who's Nandia between Coach Bamji and Coach Nobela. But Coach Bamji, thank you so much, man. I've enjoyed speaking to you about football and development football, and I think the short segment that we've helped here, I hope really does help even the youngsters watching these at home, the coaches, their advice that you've given. But thank you so much for your time. You really are a proper custodian of development football.
No, thank you for having me. And thanks to you guys. You guys are doing a great job, and continue doing what you guys are doing. Thank you.
Yeah. So that is Coach Bamji, and you can catch him on the side of the pitch this Sunday against Clapham. I guess maybe the Sundowns at Clapham High. But for now, let's go to the Super Sports Schools montage and take a quick break, and we'll be sitting and chilling with the Brazilian in Rio thereafter. Sermon puts it into Inganate, and Kaizer Chiefs have scored in the final. Once again, they're the ones to draw blood first, and the crowd erupts. Inganate Saliwa.
ba boela ko morago a bona Simon Messi a ba rekisa monna Messi o na le Ibrahim Messi a ba romela ko pele a re bona go le keo itle go na kotsi mosimane go le ya kotsi go bo gore pa Moteng e ne le monate motshameko yo rokotsa mathe jaaka ke bona a tlile go bua jalo le itumeleng kgosigadi ya ga banda ke bua kana ke o rapetse tiro ba tlile go bua fela jalo bona motho etso ba bue gore go diragala eng ba ikutlwa jang jaaka bona mo tshwantshong sa gago the Perfect Glamour Boys Kaizer Chiefs ke di tshimega tsa 2024 Gauteng Development League Top 80 wena motho etso ke monate fela ko Naturena.
New blood, new faces, same old celebrations. Kaizer Chiefs win the GDL under 13 top 8 back to back for a second year running. It's their 4th trophy without losing a singular game in almost 18 months.
Rio de Janeiro with Coach Coscanero, the under-19 head coach of Remember Elite Sports Academy, joins us now. In fact, the segment belongs to him. Yeah, okay, let's see Uguti Umnandi Guamampela. But before we get to that, we want to first reflect on some of the words by Coach Bamji. Coach, from one coach to another, right? I'm sure you could relate with a lot of the points that Coach Bamji made. What did you make of some of the things that he had to say?
Tandoman, Coach Bamji is a very well-informed coach, and he's a person of note because he's also down to earth, humble. And what I liked about our interview with him, I mean, is just the growth spurt. A lot of people do not understand the things that come with coaches. You have to be patient, you have to have the love for the kids. Imagine someone who's saying, no, Mina, I want the limelight, but you do not know exactly how to set up that light. You don't know where does it come from. You understand? So Coach Bamji, I think he touched more on what's needed and how these players can actually grow within the structure as a Kaizer Chiefs, and what kind of players are they looking for. I don't know if you picked up something from there.
So into engibonile mina gents lana uCoach Bamji uchazile yabona ukuthi about ukuthi ukuba nzima like ukukhulisa intwana zamanda 13, but athi yena uthanda zona intwana zamanda 13. Yabo abocoach abakanjalo abafana noLunga Nobela yajabulisa manje ukubona because amanda 19 vele sebele phezulu abocoach abaningi bafuna lokho, but ngibonile ukuthi like unalolo thando lolukhulu for amanda 13. And then into ayichazile 48 games 44 wins, the rest are draws. Akazaluze.
Coach Manje, I hope we can inspire really maybe now you can go and coach ama 13 in Risa, or you just like the big boys you.
No, my man. Look, I like to call myself a development coach. Yeah. You understand? Because Nami, I have a background of coaching young kids. We have a grassroots program that we are busy running, and it's so satisfying, man, to see a 7-8-year-old like enjoying what they do, because you are inspiring them to actually do what they love. You understand? So it's very nice, man. And most definitely, I'm looking forward to actually getting a team young on a lower division. Chairman, I hope you are watching.
Those under 60s, those under 60s.
Into engithandile ngocoach Bamji Jensen ukuthi kanjena uyabona kunama plans our implementayo njengokuthi intwana zizo trainer like ma under 12 11 mayisuka kuye like yabona lo muntu uhlale ecabangela like ifuture yakhe ukuthi hence ke intwana zithi mayifika kuye sezimnandi lento besimbuza yona like lawa ama implementation awenzile ukuthi intwana zithi zinabo ma 11 12 ziqale ijime ngama Mondays, and uze washo wathi mina angimind angiyazi ukuthi angisebenza Monday but angimind ukuze ejimini ngijimise lezo intwana. So imnandi lonto yakho.
Those are the people that we really look forward that we want in development football. But Coach Coscarino, you yourself have been very busy. Tell us what's been happening in Rio de Janeiro, man.
Hey, my man, hey, I'm coming straight from Rio, and next week I'm coming with 2 or 3 words. You'll see. Portuguese words. I'm coming. But guys, today we'll be focusing more on defensive stats. We'll be looking at teams as to how are they defending within our prestigious development league in Gauteng. So what I'm going to be doing today, guys, is I'm going to be giving you a breakdown as to what is required for a team to successfully defend. I'll be reading out our KPIs, like your key performance indicators, because as defenders, you know, man, that you don't always get props. If you are a defender, you score an own goal, you are at fault.
Yes.
You miss that header, you are at fault. You don't pass very well and you lose the ball, you concede a goal, you are at fault. So, and going back the day, 2006, Ballon d'Or was won by Fabio Cannavaro,
Defend.
the only defender to win the Ballon d'Or. Right. So he won it straight on, man. 2006 with 173 points, and then surpassed Gianluigi Buffon. They were both playing for Juventus that year, and he surpassed him with 52 points. That has never happened before in the Ballon d'Or. So today, we are bringing the Ballon d'Or back to Gauteng. We are
Gauteng
taking
Development
it
League.
from France and we bringing it to Gauteng. Yeah, so the KPIs that are required for defenders to actually successfully defend, you need a defender that can pass accurately so that he can't miss pass and concede a goal. You need a tackle success rate that is sound. You need aerial duels. So these KPIs are very, very important for these defenders because you get people who coach players just for the sake of coaching, but they don't dive into such stats.
So into mina ngifuna ukuyibuza la ngaphambi ukuthi ephambili ukhuluma ngale but bengicela ukuthi uzothi udinga ne player I defender comfortable nebhola emumva likwazi ukudlala ayikho yona la.
No. Passing accuracy, Baba.
Okay,
if it was udlala,
Yeah.
No, for sure. Modern football has instigated in the you need a player that is comfortable on the ball because remember these boys are developing. They are in the development stage. They do not. We can't bombard players and always demand. As coaches, as development coaches, we need to encourage them to say that guys, you need to be comfortable on the ball because remember we are 22 in the field. We only play with one ball. And if you are not comfortable, yeah. So, guys, looking at that, and I'm going to be telling you about teams from under 19. I'm doing it top to bottom.
Yeah.
So from under 19, we have. So before I first give you the defensive sound teams, the criteria that I've used is I've checked how much goals are they conceding. Right, so the goal difference matters.
Yeah.
How many clean sheets are they having? Right. So in the under 19s, my defensive focus has given me that Highlands Park is performing better than most teams in terms of defensive organization because they are placed 7th on the log as we speak, and they've played 10 games, and then they've conceded only 7 goals, and they have 4 clean sheets. So they have the most clean sheets in the division.
But coach, let me ask you a question then quickly. Would you not say that the best team in the division would therefore be the most defensively sound team? It doesn't matter that you have 4 clean sheets. Sundowns are sitting right at the top, and that should mean that their attack has been functioning as well as their defense. So Highlands are 7.
So look, Tando, remember, man, the game of football is very dynamic, and it requires for us to inform people out there that you can see that a team is scoring 100 goals, but also conceding 99. You understand? So you get the perspective, a team, you need to look at it holistically to say that if you have a team and a development team, then there are some KPIs which I have informed you about or which I have stated before that you need to look at. So when I'm looking at these KPIs, I can see that, okay, my focus today will be on a defensive organized team.
Mhlambe coaching ngaphambi ukuthi uqhubeke 2 questions nyana for wena. Eyokuqala ukuthi ubala amagoli angene ngakithi angithi. Amagoli angangena nange penalty yenzeka ipenalty. So lokho doesn't have to do much nama defender penalty mhlambe
But who conceded the penalty?
Exactly. Or even an attacker can concede a penalty?
Yeah, so into engisho mhlambe bekuyikhona usukele phambili uyistrike obampola ngesandla and then ipenalty. Thina ama defender senzanga lutho. So uyihlanganisa kanjani ke lapho?
Mhlokolozi, look at it this way.
Yeah.
A defender, right?
Yeah.
We consider defensive line, including a goalkeeper. Now you consider penalty, a goalkeeper saves it.
Oh, so no goalkeeper uyabala.
No goalkeeper yabala. Carry on with the teams, coach.
Yeah, so in the under 17 division, we have Amasandawana, Kabuyelo, that they have played. They are placed third in the log. They've played 12 games and they have conceded 11 goals. So they are the least team that has conceded 11 goals. The following team has conceded 12 goals, so it's very close. And then they only have 4 clean sheets, sorry. And then in the under 15s, we have Joburg City that have beaten Resa, by the way. This
Lucky coach. Coach.
Football, yeah. So Joburg City are performing well above expectation this season, and they have moved from 5th to 4th with their clean sheet, and they have performed very well this past weekend. They've played 12 games, and then they have conceded 8 goals, and then they have 6 clean sheets, the most in the division so far. And then we move to under 13s. And guys, I don't know whether it's a coincidence or not, because before we even announced Ugutu we are having PUBG, I've already looked at under 13s.
You've already looked at them.
But these guys are overperforming. What's happening?
They're overperforming.
You
Is there such a thing then, coach, as overperforming, or is overperforming just good? Well done.
Yeah.
Look, there is, because remember, now we're dealing with a game of numbers.
Yeah.
You will be expected to perform at a certain level. But once you surpass that level, my man, you are definitely shooting for the stars. So the under 13s of Kaizer Chiefs is definitely overperforming with 11 games played, and they have conceded only 5 goals, guys.
What?
5 goals. And then they have 6 clean sheets. Right. So they are first in the log, still unbeaten. So basically this definitely tells you that Kaizer Chiefs is definitely overperforming. And once we go back now, I'm going to dive more on the clean sheet as to how are these teams getting clean sheets and what are we checking Uguti, the complexity of them getting clean. Are you getting clean sheets home? Are you getting clean sheets away?
Also, coach, enye into engifuna mhlawumbe ukuyibuza ukuthi sisakhuluma ngama defend. Does ukuba Kaizer Chiefs yazi ama big boys lapha emumva
Emmanuel Azuma ndoda
does
yo.
leyo nto leyo iyangena kulama factor lawa ama defense ukuthi sharp mina ngidefenda abantu abangaka mina ngidefenda abantu abashort.
Because the super sport is a player is not as tall than you Kaizer Chiefs. We have Tepang, Dikhomaj, short guys compared to you, Azuma and Odendal. Yeah.
Guys, let's go back 2006. Fabio Cannavaro was not the tallest guy.
But Virgil van Dijk was the tallest guy.
I know.
In 2019 when he was second.
Look, what I'm saying is that a defender is not only classified by his physical appearance. Fabio Cannavaro was the shortest guy in the field. He competed with Thierry Henry to win most of his aerial duels. So you can definitely tell that this guy has the ability to be a defender and has the ability to win the Ballon d'Or at his shortest. You get it?
Yeah.
So while I'm looking at these stats, you'll find that from the inception of the GDL since 2018, Kaizer Chiefs has been shooting for the stars in the under 13 division. They have played from 2018. They've played 19 games. They've lost 4. They won 11. And then once
they've lost 4 games since 2018.
Imagine.
That's 6 years.
Imagine. So
that's overperforming.
So 2019 they played 30, and then they lost 13, and then they won 13 games. So you can even tell by the graph that is shown now on the screen that these guys are definitely shooting for the stars. They have been first 2021, 22, 23. They are even projected to finish the league unbeaten. But the numbers don't lie, guys. The number they show you the stats, they show you everything there. So when we get into how these guys are getting their clean sheets, you'll find that Highlands Park, who is also performing very well in the under 19 division, they have 4 clean sheets, which they have gained away. They have 2 home clean sheets, one with from Sevens Academy, the 1-0 win, and then Supersport United, the 2-0 win away, and then TS Galaxy Galaxy, they drew at home with them, and then they also drew with Ducks at home.
Yeah.
So basically, you can say they're drawing at home, and then, you know, and then under 17s, Mamelodi Sundowns. They have played 12 games now, and they have 4 clean sheets, and they have 2 home clean sheets, and then 2 away clean sheets, which is your East End and Highlands Park, 8-0 against East End this past weekend.
Sure.
Another 8, Buffett. What is happening with this team? But then looking at Highlands Park, they won 2-0. And then Jomo Cosmos they drew away. And then they also won 8-0 against Panorama the past week. Who's this guy who's scoring these goals?
Mfethu umadondo ntokozo madondo then khona enye intwana o right hander zibhaya le ntwana
Yeah, since we
Bayahlokoza labafana.
bayahlokoloza laba bafana. We have room for one more question, gents. We have 1 minute left in this particular segment. Fiso, ambuzo coach ngaya.
eyokugcina abantu abafuna ukuyazi mfethu waqala ngedefender wakhuluma ngedefender ascore yini, why is it so important
Ukudefenda.
ascore yini?
I think that's a nice question, yeah.
Ukora ascore yini, why semumva?
Guys, remember the main principle of developing these guys, like starting from the back, is very, very important. And if we have our defensive line correct and solid, we know that we are good to go. Then we can focus more. But it depends on a coach again. A coach can focus more on attack and then have a leaky, like myself. Hey, I'm struggling, guys. I need your assistance. Guys, when I continue and wrap it up, gents, on the under 15 division, we have Joburg City that is also performing very well. They have 6 clean sheets, and their clean sheets, they are most clean sheets. They are even. They have 3 away clean sheets, and then they have 3 home clean sheets. And then Kaiser Chiefs, Mr. Bamji is having a lot of. They actually even also 3 clean sheets away, and then 3 clean sheets at home. So it shows that, guys, defensive shape is very important. Defensive organization. If you have a defensive sound team, going forward, it's a bonus. It's a bonus because remember, we play football to score goals. If you score goals and you know that you are guaranteed a clean sheet, definitely 3 points in the bag.
Sure. Coach, thank you so much, man. Now, Coach, I don't know how good you were with your feet, but you know it's with your brain. Jeez, you know football, man. I'm Nandi. But Coach Coscarino, man, I can't wait to see what you have in store for us again next week round. But I go back to Brazil and cook for us again. Get us those secret ingredients again, Coach Carino. But that's been our Coach's Corner. We've had Mohamed Bamji. We've had the man from Rio de Janeiro who sets out to make bold claims. He came here and told me he's not only bringing the Ballon d'Or to South Africa, he's bringing the Ballon d'Or to a defensive player. Wow. Only on Football on 216. Stay tuned. The full squad coming back after the break.
Sport Smith, Supersport Schools commentator extraordinaire, just finished your 350th match in commentary. How was that?
Yeah, it's a pretty surreal feeling right now. Obviously, I'm tired. It's Villa Clover week, so it's been a long one. One more match to go later on tonight. But yeah, it's been an incredible journey. It's been an incredible blessing. It's been, to be part of something as big as Supersport Schools and as big as school rugby commentary. And it's just been an amazing ride ever since 2017. The first game at the St. John's College Easter Festival.
I was going to ask you if you remember your first match.
Yeah, I remember one of the 2 teams. I'm quite sure High School Florida was playing. I'm quite sure. I can't remember. I think my wife might have a photo somewhere. There's some memorabilia that you build up and things like that. But it's been amazing, and I've been very blessed.
And any advice for anybody interested in commentary, anyone in Supersport Schools? We've got lots of youngsters involved.
Look, we've got so many guys getting involved. I promise you I will still phone you back after Villa Clover. Everybody who's mailed me and everything. Look, we've got some amazing talent. We've got guys like Edouard Trita coming through. We've got the Professor Audrey After who's here. We've got Zola Mazwi. We've got Morgan Newman, Andre Strauss. We've got yourself. There's so many brilliant commentators. We've got the most brilliant GDL soccer commentary.
Yeah.
So it's, just focus, work hard, and prep as much as you can. That is what I'll say.
And then just before we become part of this match, the next 350 games, what are you looking to do? Where are you looking to go?
I've been blessed to join Supersport commentary as well, where Gauteng has given me opportunities, and then hopefully, obviously the dream, like any commentator, hopefully a test match, you know.
Awesome, Spoon. All the best for the
Thank
next
you very much.
350.
Thank you.
The sport you care about most. Get the most out of your SuperSport Schools app today. Now you can cast live content from your app to your smart TV at home. Ensure that your device is on the same network as your smart TV. Use the search tool to find the event that you're looking for. Then hit the casting icon at the top of your screen and you're good to go. So if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Download the SuperSport Schools app today for the best in school sport action. Hashtag time to shine.
Welcome back to it. It's your favorite Disky show, Football on 216. More exciting app functionality updates. You can officially cast your games from your smartphone onto your smart TV simply by using that icon in the top right and enjoy. I know Lebu enjoys that function very much. Now I enjoyed segment 2 very much in particular. Koskarinho, Mohamed Bamji. One's an under 13 coach, one is an under 19 coach. I'd like to see, maybe they can be on the opposite sides of the pitch at one point in time. Let's see.
I'm friendly. Two coaches are lining.
But they both speak the game so well, man.
Yeah.
But we do know that Mohamed Bamji will be on the sideline of the pitch this weekend up against none other than Lunga Nobela. All roads, ladies and gentlemen, lead to Clapham High for what I think is the biggest Gauteng Development League fixture. Kaizer Chiefs, Mamelodi Sundowns, Machita. Ora. You don't even know what to say.
No, because it's a big one, you know. Each time I come to Lepem, you know, it's a big one. Whether get Chiefs, whether get Highlands Park, whether get Supersport. But this weekend, get Chiefs. Mohamed Bamji Khaisa latlhegelo Lunga Nobela o latlhegetswe metshameko le mebedi from Supersport le Panorama. Motshameko o tlo nna thata tota. O tlo nna motshameko e leng gore o popota. But fela re tla bona ga weekend e fela gore ke eng se e leng gore se tla diragala ka fao.
I want to ask a question, Sfiso, or to the table as a whole, because what Mohamed Bamji has done so well over Numa Nobela is in finals. That's where he beats him in those one-on-one games. He never gets a better of him. You have to think of the Youth Cup final last year. Then you think of the top 8 final this year too. So what does Lunga need to do right to beat Kaizer Chiefs?
So when Athando siyakhuluma ngayo le makqala, I think i-top 8 ulungishile ukuthi intwana zakhe beyisaba because ama big boys ka Mohamed Bamji uyakwazi lokho. So ngicabanga ukuthi ukubuyela kumqondo wakhe, let's hope ukuthi ama player akazobe phelele because last time wathi ama player akazobe ngaphelele. So ukubuyela kumqondo wakhe bedlale nje lebhola abajwayele ukudlala and then bengasabi because ama big boys la ku Kaizer Chiefs, so they must not be afraid when Athando bengasabi nakancane.
Notably, then, we have to speak of the under-15 game. We move over to Sekeledi Mokhali. Sundowns' under-15s haven't lost, gentlemen, in 11, 12 rounds now, the GDL.
ntse like wa bona go bua ka di record yanong o sitsibanya mmelo ga ka go nepo.
So he's chasing Bamji now. Sekeledi Mokhali is chasing Bamji. Should bring him next.
Ka gone ba tshameka go lentle wena Thano fa le ba under 15 Sundowns Chiefs tlhapa tse di a tshameka ntse like fa ba tlile wa utlwa le gore ke tlile mo lebaleng ka gone ke le gore gantsi dirwa ke Sfiso me too I rata under 15 ke kwa bona jalo ba tsema le ba taboga thata bana Thando ka jalo Chiefs Sundowns under 15 ntse like in fact under 13 15 17 le 19 a tlo gona dino fela ntse like ke ngela dino fela
Ba tlhogo mo stompo
there's no way you're going to have Chiefs Sundowns 0-0 never.
Okay, let's throw it then to the under-17 game, which you are especially for Rapeleng Okhaki. I particularly enjoyed watching Mohamed Bamji's son then, Louis Bamji, in that Chiefs side. I think he has about 6 goals so far. But the team as a whole, I don't know, I found it weird because it's a good team, but they haven't performed to their abilities.
Yeah, the under 17, but it's on the 13th position, which is a bit unusual for that under 17 team. And then Mamelodi Sundowns, they're sitting on the third position. Tiro van Rooyen, already 8. Okorilele 80, momtshameko wa gagwe wa weekend, scored 8. Tsenolo Motau, o na le mo scoshiti. O kry-ile reward Tsenolo. O thomile le game, o kgonne go nosa. Ba ntshitse 8. Karabo Modiko.
Swisso's already looking at you, ready to debate. He's already looking, ready to debate.
Listen, Vet, into singayikhuluma ama under 17 we Chiefs uqinisile or like abenga perform grand ukhumbula ukuthi abuya na kwi lose ye Resa. And angazi uthi yini man lengahlangana because it's still the same squad as under 15. Because he's so less.
That's why I'm saying I don't understand.
Like, I don't know.
Hopolang gore under 17 ya Chiefs e tlotse metshameko e kana mebedi kgotsa le mo ga makawana under 17 ba go Colombia. So a kitse gore le yona e disturbile rhythm ya bona kgotsa go etsagetse.
No, but it's development or we can't say because there's no players we won't play well. There's Bam G that's there, there's Royce Malaki that's there. We should still be winning games.
Lisi is there under 17.
No, I think happy o tshwantse o tlwaele go tshameka le batshameki wena ntse like ha re tshameka le babedi yana when you know there I need to know gore whoever is coming to replace you how does he play. I need to get used to the way a tshamekang ka teng ka jalo I think they were not fluid ka gona ga ba tlwaela go tshameka bo jaaka bona 3 players missing go dira eng go senya the momentum of the team ka gone ba tlwaelana ke ka jalo fa ke go ntsha and ke kenya Ora I need to know how Ora is playing. I need to know the strengths tsa gagwe, his weaknesses gore ga tsena re tlo go tshamekisana ka jalo I think missing 3 players from Kaizer Chiefs under 17 it's tshamekile a big role.
Also, maybe ngiyacabanga mfethu because from under 17 that's where sek decide manje intwana ziya ku DDC intwana zifuna ama under 19 mhlawumbe intwana sifuna ukuyidlala yona ukuthi kuvele yona kakhulu because I don't think sebedlala as a team manje like other than under 15 ade benikezana no wonke umuntu phela uyazi mase sonke siyayifuna manje sifuna iDDC sifuna ama under 19 because ngeke ngezwe ngisho nolokhu no Thidiso lethelanyana etshela Eliyahu athi mawudlala kanje ngakuyibona
Bagefla wo coach asingede kuyo ke under 19 le abathi ngeke bayibona lebza when uyibona blind under 19
under 19 out the last time they played Chiefs e gapile 3-1. The last time bana ba tshameka.
I remember Fiso Masombuka goal, Peko Pago involved. Yeah.
And then the first leg ke mo ba tshamekileng 2-2. Come on Tsama, that's why I said I can simul. You're not gonna see a goalless draw between Chiefs and Sundowns. O lebelle ba tswere mang ka mo Sundowns under 19 wena ntsa like ba tembolisa lise o teng ko pele o teng Bennett Mokwena ke buile ka ene o teng ka kwana wa Rabile Boysen o tlhololla ka ene ka mo right wing ka mo le ka jalo Chiefs ba tswere jalo bo malachi ba teng tsa like ba teng bo pocketang like go tlo gonna monate
staff sama super ba teng.
Okay, just to close off the segment, let's speak about players and that we can look out for in this particular weekend, right? I'm going to start with Unzengeleza, Dlamini, number 6 for Kaizer Chiefs. The last time we watched him play, man, I haven't enjoyed myself in commentary so much as I was watching that youngster play. Who are you looking for, Rappeling?
Ngarialo kere khonano ke tlo stika le Mamelodi Sundowns ke tlo lebella ka Tiro van Rooyen le ka bona le la ga Tsenolo Motaung man ga disappoint o gapile maikutlo
the strikers in
3 weeks in a row antsang gapa maikutlo ke tla mo tlhoma leitlho le ntshotshwa gape mo mafelong a na beke.
Let's go to you, Fiso.
Angazi noma le player ngithandisa lokho nale yamasa khorosa
Steroids.
Uyibheke angazi noma ngithandisa because unokuthanda iplayer because i-community iyayithanda so marana ngibonile iyezintwana but Nzengeleza
Amakasa yafana mara let's
uzobe khona if uzobe khona singambheka naye and then khona
amakasa yafana
angithi kunomunye uDlamini brother odlala kuma under 17 naye umbheke loyo odlala kuma under 17 not Nzengeleza
Siamo Masisi o bona go felo fa na tsena ntsa like o tlise that stability mo gare ga mpale bala remember na le go DDC Now he's back to under 19. Come on, Twamang. Siamo ma season like ay, o mo lebele.
Ke ntwana Rustenburg. Ba ya lo Bafana ba Rustenburg.
We know where he's from. So, of course, then we have more fixtures in coming up on the Saturday. I think SuperSport United travel to Sevens Academy and then TS Galaxy up against the School of Excellence. I'd like us to unpack that one a bit before we close off the show. That'll be, of course, on the SuperSport Schools app and all these games available on the app that aren't on DSTV 216. Galaxy, SOE, before we leave, boys.
Galaxy and SOE. Ha ke itse re tla bona gore re solofeleng but ga o ka lebella ditlhopha di le pedi di tshameka motshameko le gore o bulegile ene ba rata go ba kgwele mo fatshe o lebelle di coach tse o tshwana bo Matthew George le ene Ntate Mathebula ka for School of Excellence ke ba ile gore ba rata go tshameka kgwele le di stats ba rata go lebella di stats they are so analytic mo ileng gore ga ba ya go motshamekong ba lebella gore setlhopha se le se dirile jang ke motshameko o fengwe ileng gore a ka kgona go mphenyetsa motshameko. So I think it's going to be a great game. The other game that I want to throw it in the Eastern Athletic Club le Katoras Hyper. Those two teams ding khatlana gore ba tshameka khola dina mare nka lebella gona le di challenges tse leng gore those teams they go through but a ke nagana gore re tla lebella those challenges mo nakong e tlang wena Lebzikin wena Thando re gopola gore le Eastern Atletico they walked over ka under 13 ga ba khona go tshameka ka ntlha gore ga ba fitla ka nako go motshameko so ke dilo tse leng gore ingutlisa botlhoko me fela re tla tsamaya re di lebella mo nakong e tlang.
Mina Thando angibe short kakhulu asihambise kuma under 17 School of Excellence TS Galaxy nibuya ningilethele imali yami TS Galaxy will win that game under 17
next week
ubuye ungilethele imali yakho sizohlangana khona la kubaleke ndo
sohlangana khona la TS Galaxy
lips are closing
under 17 in like TS Galaxy e tswela pele
exactly
re bua ka bomba ke rena
bomba. So the action and the excitement continues, of course, on your home of school sports. Boys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming out again. And until the next time, Sizoichuna via noch. But we carry on with the excitement on the home of school sports fronts. Exciting rugby action this weekend. Selborne versus Dale College anniversary fixture. And of course, Friday Night's Lights does also indeed continue on TSTV 216. But boys, siyenzile, and until such a time, Mom Nandi,
Is going to be an exciting couple of days of hockey here. Well, Rob, that is fantastic stuff here from the home side. You can just hear it in the background. The supporters
superbly taken, a slip flick.
Right, stop is good. Kumalo with the flick, and they've taken it in the dying minutes of the game. With a rocket of a flick there.
We have been treated to flicking display tonight.
Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Take A Lot. Watch hockey, the sport you care about the most, every Friday on DSTV channel 216 and the SuperSport Schools app. Visit takealot.com, the official stockist of Replica South Africa apparel. Don't miss it on the action. Shop now and light up your Friday nights.